Bloomberg.com article, over 6 million added to food stamp rolls as the illness surged. The total is now near 43 million people dependent on food stamps in America. And guess what? It's only going to get worse. Hey everybody, it's JJ here. You're watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. It's February 21st, 2021. We do have a lot of news to cover today. Real quick, before we get started, if you like the news updates that we present you, if you want to help support the channel, it's very simple. Please make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell to make sure you get all the latest updates. Channels like this typically do not get put at the top of search results because we go against the official narrative that there's this amazing economic recovery and that no one needs to prepare. So for some reason that's news that some people may not want to get out there, or maybe this opinion is something that people don't want to get out there. So appreciate your support. Please make sure you're subscribed and notification bell if you like these updates. Thank you so much. So we're in an amazing economic recovery right now, right? So that means food stamp usage should drop. It should decline. But what's happened? 6 million people were added just in the past year, and now we're up to about 43 million people dependent on food stamps. And I wonder how many more people would have been dependent on this type of handout if it were not for the stimulus checks, right? So it's going to be stimulus checks, food stamps, stimulus checks, food stamps, unemployment benefits, eviction moratoriums, foreclosure moratoriums. You don't have to pay your utility bills. You don't have to pay your car loan. You don't have to pay your student loan. You don't have to pay your rent. We're going to pause your credit card payments. We're going to pause late fees and interest. As every week between 700,000 and 900,000 new unemployment filings continue to pile in. And more people drop out of the labor force. That way they can continually point to the unemployment number getting lower and lower. In the meantime, the people dropping out of the labor force are no longer counted as unemployed. It's a huge scam, and I'm guessing over 99% of the people in the United States have no idea what is really happening. And here's an example. Instead of putting away a rainy day fund or preparing, people instead took vacations, went to the amusement parks, to Disneyland, what have you. And then when the electricity went out, you found out how many people had no canned goods, no water set aside, not even an extra propane tank to cook food on the grill when the electricity went out. Right? So this is a huge problem, and what we try to do here on this channel is keep you focused, keep focused on preparing for what's coming, because the economic recovery that's being discussed on the mainstream channels, it's only going to be a recovery for some people that are invested in the right area. The top 50%, especially the top 10%, are getting richer than ever during these times. But if you're stuck in the bottom 50%, it's going to get really difficult. If you're working in a service sector job, remember, even before the shutdowns, the economy was about 70% service sector, and those are typically lower paying jobs. So the people that were already in trouble working these low wage jobs are the people that got hit the hardest with the shutdown with the service sector. Right? The people at the top, they're doing just fine, and if you invest wisely, you can do just fine as well. That's why we continue to say, ride the bull, invest, ride this bull market, get in these assets that are skyrocketing. We talk about them here on a frequent basis, right? But again, if the stock market's up, if your 401k is up, if your digital assets are up, your home equity's up, but you ran out of food because you weren't prepared, that tells you that you probably need to rebalance your financial situation and your preparation. It should be all one, right? The financial side is the preparation side. You need to take some of your investments, if you did make money, and balance this out and try to get more preparations. That way, if something happens, if the grocery stores, the shelves go empty, the power goes out, no matter what happens, you're still going to be in good shape. But prices are rising. Let's talk about gas prices here. This is Times of San Diego. In my area, it was about $3.45 a gallon for the cheapest, the lowest grade gas that you could buy. But the average price now for a gallon of gas here in San Diego It actually rose 31 out of 32 days, and it's up to about $3.60 now, and this is the highest that it's been since December 2019. That's the highest in over a year. So for those of us that are paying for things, that we're not getting handouts, prices are going to continue to rise. Eventually they're going to try to take more of your paycheck, even though they can print trillions of dollars out of thin air at the push of a button. Because so many people have no idea that they can do that, they're going to just take more of people's paycheck as the years go by. Oh, you need to pay for this spending. Hey, you over there working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, we need to take more of your paycheck to help pay for this. You see how this works? So keeping people in the dark and keeping people dumbed down is how they're able to pull this off. Right? And most people will probably just accept it. Okay, you can take more of my paycheck. I understand there's a lot of debt we have to pay off. There's a lot of spending. Go ahead and take 40%, 50%, 60% of my paycheck. It's fair. We need to help pay for all this spending because they can't print money out of thin air. Money's a precious commodity. The dollars, they have to be dug out of the earth and mined to be able to print these dollars. That's probably the level of stupidity that most people in the United States are under right now, right? And it's true. I mean, I don't mean to sound cruel or anything, but we're basically the land of the dumbed down debt servants, right? Land of the dumbed down debt servants. We're on this hamster wheel of working, and most people now, when they're at the end of their days, have nothing to pass down to their kids, nothing to show for it. If they do have something saved up, it's usually going to get eaten up in a nursing home that's going to cost you between $10,000 and $20,000 a month to have someone wait on you and change you and all that good stuff. All right, but I digress. Another Bloomberg article: bubble warnings go unheeded as everyone is a buyer in stocks. All right, so it's simple, right? Just pile your money into an asset that's going to go up, and it's going to continue to go up because the Fed's going to be there forever to keep pushing these markets higher. Right, so we have a big portion of the population that's getting further into poverty, and you can see that with the food stamps increasing. And then we have another part of the population that's probably gaining a lot of wealth during this time, because it's pretty simple, right? Ride the bull. And we need to keep on riding the bull. Otherwise, we're going to get left behind because prices are going to keep rising. So if you're not investing, if you're not being proactive in these markets, it's going to get very, very difficult because prices are going to go up. They're going to take a bigger portion of your paycheck, as we talked about. Fuel costs, energy costs. Just like our last report, some people are paying thousands of dollars a month now for their utility bills in Texas, right? It's an absolute nightmare, and there's no real solutions being discussed. More food stamps and more stimulus checks are not going to stop this insanity of rising prices that we're all going to feel the effects of. Right, now when I say that prices are going to rise forever, that the Fed's always going to be there, not really, but a lot of people do believe that, so people are making money at this point thinking they can just jump into the markets and it's a no-lose situation because the Fed's always going to be there. But I can guarantee a lot of people are going to get caught in that trap. If you put everything you have into the markets, be prepared to lose it all. At some point, they will pull the plug. And, of course, they'll blame something, maybe the banks or some big accounting scandal, lending scandal. Who knows, but they will find a scapegoat to pull the plug in this market, and you're going to see the biggest economic drop that you've ever witnessed. And what we're seeing now is just going to be child's play compared to what this country is going to look like when that finally happens. And it's coming closer, I think, than a lot of people realize. All right, everybody, this was a short report, but thank you for tuning in. I'd like to hear from you down in the comments. What are you doing today, this week, to prepare? Are you putting away more food, more water? Are you looking for a home, maybe moving out of an apartment and maybe looking for a home a little bit further in the country where you can have more room for bottled water or just preparations, maybe a garden? I'd like to know what you're doing. Thanks everybody for your support on this channel. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now, everybody. Peace.